Android Virtual Device Installation. In this lecture, we will demonstrate the steps on how to add an Android Virtual Device or AVD to your Mac OS computer. But first, let's briefly talk about AVD. What really is it and what does it use for? An Android Virtual Device is basically just an emulator for a mobile phone. So you can test your app functionality and UI design without manually deploying it to an actual mobile device. You will also be using this emulator a lot of time in the course of your development. Hence, it is important to know how to add and configure AVDs before you proceed writing your code. There are many ways to add an AVD. You can manually add one using your command prompt or terminal by just calling the Android create AVD command and then supplying the required parameters. The second way is to create an AVD simply by using the AVD manager. We will be using the second way via the AVD manager of your Android Studio IDE to add our new AVD. Alright, let's begin. The first step is to open up your Android Studio IDE. Just wait for a few seconds to load your IDE. And now it's open. And then you can either click this AVD Manager icon on the top of the menu, and as you can see, the Android Virtual Device Manager shows up. Alternatively, you can also go to Tools menu, Android, and then select AVD Manager. And then click this Create Virtual Device button. The virtual device configuration screen will show up. This contains different devices that you can emulate. You can choose TV, wearable device, phone, and tablets. And under phones, you can choose from Pixel, Nexus, Nexus One, WVGA, and many others. Let's select the 5.2-inch Nexus 5X device. We have three tabs here: the Recommended tab, the x86 Images tab, and the Other Images. You can select which Android API version you want to use, as well as its corresponding Application Binary Interface or ABI and its target. You can select Android Nougat, Lollipop, or KitKat versions. For our example, let's go back to the x86 Images tab and select the Nougat version. On the right side, you can also see the system image summary of our selection. We have the Android version 7, API level 24, with an x86 system image. Just be aware of what version and API level you're using. And of course, it is advisable to select the most latest Android release. Under the release name column, you will see here a download link, which will get and install the required components for the Android virtual device that you had selected. Just click this link and the component installer dialog will show up. Right now, it is downloading the system image and Android API from the Google repository. Just wait for the installation to complete. And great! Our new AVD has been successfully installed in our computer. Just click the Finish button, and then afterwards, you can see here that our new x86 image for our new AVD has been properly installed. Just click the Next button, and then the Next button again, until you reach this Verify Configuration screen. In here, you can specify a custom AVD name that you want to use. You can also select the startup orientation, either the portrait or a landscape. Also, you can select the emulated graphic performance and the device frame. And under the advanced settings, you can further change the configuration as well, like the camera, memory, and SD card. To finish this process, just hit the Finish button. And success! We had properly created our first Android virtual device. Let's now see this in action. Let's run our sample Android application by clicking this green Run button. And under the Select Deployment Target dialog, just choose the new AVD that we just created, and then press OK. Wait for a little while for the AVD to load. And we now see our Android emulator model just shows up, and now our emulator appears as well. Remember, this is the 5.2-inch Nexus, the Android virtual device that we had created a while ago. It is now loading our app, and there it is, the My First Android app. Fantastic! Now you know how to add an AVD for your Android development.